Well, naughty or nice, folks, today is a Christmas miracle 4 years in the making. Now, in 26 days, Joseph Robinette Biden is out and Donald J. Trump is back in the saddle of American leadership. Goodbye, America last. Hello, America first, once again. Now, some have worked hard to rewrite America's rudderless ship, and others have worked overtime to keep us from ever being able to make America great again. And so this Christmas, I thought it might make sense to separate the wheat from the chaff and the naughty from the nice on a day where we give thanks for the grace of God, the miracle of Christ, and all of which has helped define American exceptionalism. And so, of course, at the top of the naughty list, it is that Wizard of Oz trio, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Charles Ellis Schumer. Not a heart, a brain, or an ounce of courage to be discovered between the three of them. This team-turned-yellow brick road nightmare, they brought us Chinese spy balloons in the skies, CCP police stations in our neighborhoods, and then told us everything would be okay. This crackpot team brought us a disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, handed the entire country to the terrorist organization, the Taliban, cost us the lives of 13 American heroes, and then had the unmitigated gall to call all of these failures a success. These foreign policy geniuses reversed every single Trump immigration policy, unlocked America's front door, watched as 2 million gotaways invaded our nation, 8 million border encounters, and called all of it a figment of our imagination. They let Vladimir Putin hack the colonial pipeline, let Putin hack our beef supply. They blew up the U.S. economy and then did not try to blame it on the rain, but rather Donald J. Trump. The list goes on. There is a cold place in hell for what they have done to our country. I have the power to give them right now 3 lumps of coal and pray to God we never hear from them in government leadership ever again. All right, next up on that list, the spies who lied. The 51 former members of U.S. intelligence that told the entire world that Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation. And earlier this year, we found out what we already suspected, that the FBI had authenticated that laptop 11 months before any of them put their name or pen to paper to sign one of the largest lies told in election history. They used their proximity to our government to try and influence an election. They told us as much themselves under oath before Congress. We can only give them 51 lumps of coal, but there is a criminal referral with their names on it sitting on the desk of the Attorney General for the United States of America, and I'm pretty sure Pam Bondi is getting ready to dust it off the minute she is confirmed as our nation's next Attorney General. And of course, moving forward, is it even possible to make a naughty list without lawyers, or in this case, government attorneys who believe themselves to be above the law? Alvin Bragg, who cooked up a legal theory so bad he filed charges against President Trump before he had identified an underlying crime, and then got the judge in that case to agree that none of the members of the jury had to agree on what the underlying crime even was. Tish James, who campaigned on getting Donald Trump and then used a legal theory and a legal statute that has never been used in combination in the history of New York State to pursue a prosecution that defies all logic. And of course, who can forget Jack Smith, that mad dog with a law license who changed the pronouns of his scam legal theory and briefing to refile his bogus legal case against President Trump in an effort to cannonball the news cycle in the final days of the 2024 election. Good old Merrick Garland, he's another one. The Grinch who tried to steal the Constitution, the would-be Supreme Court justice to try to put soccer moms in Virginia on a terrorist watch list. What more can you say about these people? I wish I had more hands. I wish I had more power. All we can do is give them a satchel of coal and a promise that we will wait in the tall grass and we will never forget what they have done to our country until they are all held accountable. Which brings us to the nice portion of the list, those who fought through the muck to put our republic back on track. Now, do you remember when Congressman Clay Higgins asked the director of the FBI a pretty simple question? Did you folks have anybody working with you at the Capitol on January 6th? Take a listen.
Did you have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters inside the Capitol on January the 6th prior to the doors being opened?
Again, I had to be very careful.
It should be a no. Can you not tell the American people, no, we did not have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters positioned inside the Capitol?
Gentleman's time has expired.
You should not read anything into my decision not to share information.
Director Ray,
confidential human
gentleman's
sources.
time has expired.
Well, yep, that was former FBI Director Christopher Wray, the man who recklessly suggested that perhaps President Trump was not shot, but perhaps hit by shrapnel before he had to walk back that insanity too. Well, we now know that there were 26 confidential human sources in the crowd on January 6th, but have no fear because only 3 of them were assigned to be there by the FBI. And we have to stress that they have told us that they did not instruct any of them to break the law. So I guess we should give them some of Santa's cookies for that too. And so there we have it. Congressman Clay Higgins, a silent hero, the thumb in the dam of our republic like so many. We have no presents for you, my friend, just the undying gratitude of we the people. And of course, in a showdown between naughty and nice, good and evil, no list could be complete without highlighting those who stared down generational evil. The blight of anti-Semitism that exploded once again for the whole world to see after the worst attack against the Jewish people since the Holocaust occurred on October 7th. We watched the terrorist group Hamas attack innocent civilians at a music festival, killing, maiming, raping, and taking hostages. And then we watched Joe Biden undermine Israel's efforts to respond to this monstrous attack, to seek atonement, to retrieve the hostages at almost every step. With Biden going as far as suggesting that Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu was extending the war for, quote, his own personal reasons. And what's worse, we found American citizens here at home, parroting the talking points of the terrorists, indoctrinated students on college campuses all across this nation, yelling the phrase from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And when we called the presidents of those institutions down to D.C., and Congresswoman Elise Stefanik asked if calling for the genocide of Jewish people was against the university's code of conduct, one after another, they said it depended on the context, with a straight face. We salute Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Congresswoman Stefanik for staring down this evil, for standing up to forces here at home that would try and brand this monstrous actions of Hamas as justified. And finally, on that list, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the past and future President Donald J. Trump, the man who fought off coordinated lawfare, state to state, court to court, jurisdiction to jurisdiction, who by the grace of God survived 2 assassination attempts with limited help from the organization designed to keep assassinations from happening in the first place, who survived a plot by the Iranian government to kill him that the FBI didn't even tell the American people about until after the first failed assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania. Donald J. Trump, the man who had his campaign hacked by the Iranians, only to have those Iranians feed the information to the mainstream press, who then worked with the Iranian hackers to release the opposition research on Trump's campaign to the world in an effort to keep Joe Biden, then Kamala Harris, in power. A man who beat that woman, Kamala Harris, after Democrats made her their nominee without a single vote cast in her name after they figured out the candidate people actually voted for couldn't beat him. Well, the Christmas tree lights, they are shining bright tonight, folks. The finest cookies in all the land. they are down at Mar-a-Lago. But January 20th, we're all excited about turning this Christmas miracle into action, into the largest deportation effort the world has ever seen, led by Tom Homan, into a legacy-defining term, not just for President Trump, but to leave behind a legacy of 21st century American greatness that we can all be proud of being a part of.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.